My guest, actually, a distinguished guest who's been waiting in the queue, and we got him all set up. As Illinois chapter president of Parents Involved in Education, Terry Newsom has taken on school boards, exposed pornographic materials in libraries, stood strong against transgender policies and leftist indoctrination that threatens our kids. He's a dedicated dad of twins, a cancer survivor who's beaten the odds twice, and a former Union Democrat who's seen the light. Terry now serves as a DuPage, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, County Republican committeeman, and hosts the hard-hitting podcast Behind Enemy Lines, recognized as TPUSA's Warrior of the Month, and he's not backing down. Join me in welcoming my distinguished guest, Terry Newsom. Sir, thank you very much.
Hey.
Just a little glitch in the matrix there with LFA-TV. We're live there on other channels. Welcome to the Pete Santilli Show, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, my fellow Italian. You can't tell by the last name.
Newsomini.
Grandparents on my mom's side. Yeah, Newsomi.
Newsomi. That's right. You like linguine
my mom's
too.
Side. Yeah, my mom's side. I'm Italian and Polish.
Oh, that's great. Italians, Polacks, Jews, we all get along great.
Yeah.
What's the difference between an Italian, a Polak, and a Jew?
I don't know that one.
The food.
The food, yeah.
Right?
The Italian side when I grew up, the Italian side kept getting me in crime. The Polish side kept getting me caught. I had to get a real job. That's how I ended up doing what I do now.
Oh my goodness. You've been blessed, of course, blessed at birth, having such genetics, and blessed along the way. Tell me, because listen, I'm sure it's one of your greatest achievements on your mantle, that trophy of being awarded Warrior of the Month by TPUSA, regardless of what happened with Charlie Kirk, but especially especially now with Charlie Kirk, because guess what? When you were recognized as Warrior of the Month, you said you met Charlie Kirk, right?
Yeah, I actually spoke with him, the War on Our Children up in McHenry County, where we had Antifa out in front. I went and confronted him there. That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
While I was waiting to speak, I was the last speaker, but I met him. I'm 64. I got a younger wife. I got remarried. My kids just got out of high school, and I got into this 4 years ago around the forced masking. Then I saw the graphic pornography, and I was like, no way, this can't be in my kid's school. And I went all in, and I saw this stuff is connected with the illegals, the open borders, it's all connected, as you know. And it's like, oh my God, we're losing our country.
Oh yeah.
And I have to try to do something, and here I am.
So let me tell you where I'm at with Charlie Kirk. So it happened. I knew of Charlie Kirk. I interviewed Charlie Kirk, but he was always on the outer periphery. I wasn't, a big fan. I watched Charlie Kirk every single day on Real America's Voice. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't tell you who Charlie Kirk is, okay? So when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I said, so everybody is saying he's this, that, and the other thing. Let me find, because I've never heard him as a racist or with hate speech. So I binge watched, and that was a life-changing experience, because I recognized why they assassinated him, because he was that powerful.
Yes.
So you had exposure to him while he was alive, and I caught up to that, and that's why I'm so admiring you being a recipient of Warrior of the Month by TPUSA, because obviously he holds you in high regard.
Thank you. We'll never replace that young man. I mean, the guy was like, he had a photographic memory. He had he reads books. He was like a genius. And it's not just his ability to read or understand and articulate these books. It's how he was able to have a interaction or confrontation without being confrontational, how he would get his message across that made sense to these younger people. And to your point, he was a threat, not just for the future, maybe becoming a president, but the future of the globalists. If that young man could do what he's doing and continued to do what he's doing, he was a force to reckon with globally, not just in America.
Yeah, and we got to carry the torch. We do.
Yes. Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love that. So your show, Behind Enemy Lines. Let me back up a second. How are you doing? You're a cancer survivor. How are you doing with that? How's your health?
Good. I had stage 4 prostate cancer 14 years ago,
Oh,
and
wow.
5 years ago, I was at January 6th peacefully. I was in the middle of immunotherapy for stage 3 melanoma cancer,
Mm.
and then 3 years ago, the prostate cancer came back. Knock on wood, it's in remission. But honestly, for those of you guys, I had radiation hormones 3 years ago. I had 16 surgeries in general, from fights and knee placements. The worst thing I went through in my life was the radiation, and it didn't catch up to me right away. I'm suffering the consequences a few years afterwards, and it caught me off guard, honestly.
Wow.
But the cancer's gone. The radiation, killed the cancer and everything else, I guess. But thank God I'm here, and I'm here for my kids. I didn't think I would even see them. They were only 4.5 when I got it the first time. I didn't think I was going to see them graduate eighth grade, let alone now they're just started college.
How's your faith?
Yeah, I'm a Catholic, and
good. Same here. I was born and raised a Catholic. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I was altar boy. My kids went to Catholic school. Mm-hmm. I'm not a good Catholic, but that makes me a normal Catholic, because then I could go to confession on Sunday and start over on Monday.
Yeah, there you go. Rinse and repeat. Yes.
My mom's 86. She's with us now. Catholic. My grandparents came from Italy. I mean, one of the things, and maybe we'll talk about some other time, with the Venezuelans and stuff, I got police reports, FOIA, City of Chicago at Catholic Charities, which disgusts me, Pete. Their involvement in pushing these criminal, illegal Venezuelans all over the city of Chicago. They're no different than the drug cartels. When the drug cartels have their mules, unfortunately, our Catholic Church was the distribution arm of illegal criminals for the for the cartels.
Amen.
And it's
amen.
It's like I'm very upset with that. To one of your, so I'm spiritual it's a whole different story, right? I was raised a Catholic, and the people that support me the most is the Catholic. When I go to these different school board meetings and stuff, it's the Catholic grandfathers. Then they started inviting me to go to the oldest church Catholic church in Illinois, where they would do the rosary every Thursday. It's like 15 to 20 grandfathers. Yeah. And they started praying like 4 years ago for their children, their grandchildren, their country. That was when I was in the height of fighting these leftists. And these grandpas would come and stand there, and I would go. They'd drink afterwards, typical Catholics, right? And I'd be like, guys, what the heck's going on with our Catholic Church? We used to behead the Muslims. I can't get a dad to hold up my poster at a school board meeting showing the porn. And they said, yeah, we know it's it's the people. It's like our government. It's the people that run the church. It's not and it is very frustrating.
Yeah, there's a separation between for me, because I'm a lifelong Catholic. My family owns a cathedral in Italy, for God's sake. And
wow.
And I mean, so I come from a family of Roman Catholics. I'm a Christian. Actually, you know how I became a Christian? I read the Bible. Because I always had the Bible read to me. But the beautiful Roman Catholics are completely separate from anything you can criticize about the Roman Catholic Church and the business and the government of Roman Catholicism. But you're darn right about the Roman Catholic, the Catholic Charities helping facilitate human trafficking. I caught them in 2014 when the Guatemalans were coming over the border. I was down in McAllen, Texas, chasing down, all their buses that they were literally getting their pick of the litter, taking the pretty ones and sending them into the child sex trafficking network, and then, of course, scooting the other ones off to foster care. They were human traffickers. It's sad but true.
Yeah, I went to the Inn of Chicago. People probably saw that's the Magnificent Mile shelter, 2,000 illegals downtown at the Mag Mile, right? Top real estate. I brought my Mexican buddy with me to translate, and a lot of Trendelargo were there. And there's these Venezuelan men in front, and I had my friend translate. I said, I go, I'm Catholic. I don't speak Spanish, and my friend would translate, but they could tell, right? Italiano, Catholic, to try and make them feel comfortable. Then I had my friend translate. I go, ask him. I goes, Catholic Charities helping them. I already knew the answer, right? I just wanted to hear it myself. Is Catholic Charities helping them here? Yes. I go, did Catholic Charities help you at the American border? They said yes. I go, did you have to pay the cartels to get into the United States? They said yes. So look at this. I mean, it's like, the cartels, they pay them, they come in, drop them off at the border. Our church picks them up. And to Tom Homan's point is like, these people they're getting food and, shuttles and apartments. Catholic Charities was putting them in rental units, putting on their people's gas, their ComEd energy. So of course they're going to come here, right?
Oh yeah. Wow. Listen, there's a lot to cover here. I've enjoyed the conversation. I've enjoyed, and we got to get back together again. Is what I'm saying. I'm not glossing over what we said. We just covered a whole gamut of topics. Craziness. I want us to get back together. If you enjoyed the conversation thus far, I'd certainly appreciate it. Here,
of course.
Let's dig right into this, because there's a name that came up, and I love this guy. His name is Ben Bergquam.
Oh my God! Yeah, he's my buddy. Yes.
Here's a story right here. All right. Here it is. Newsom, that's you, and Bergquam expose the terror of lawless illegals at a Chicago migrant facility. FOIA reveals battery, assault, burglary, domestic battery, criminal sex abuse, child abuse stabbings at one single facility. So, without reading the report, I have you here. Mm-hmm. Tell me about this. And of course, by the way, you've got certain level of protection because he's God sent to us. Ben Bergquam. He's a great guy.
Oh my God, he's awesome. He's awesome.
So tell me about this story.
There's 27 shelters in Chicago. I got into 2 shelters myself, right? Because I'm Italian. They thought I was Venezuelan. And I swear I would go in with them until they figured out that I couldn't speak Spanish. I got kicked out. But what I saw was they had metal detectors and wands. So we were told these people commit less crimes than us, right? Less crimes than us. So now I'm like, what the heck? I started doing FOIAs, right? Police FOIAs. And so the Standard Club, a 150-year-old historic Jewish, initially it was like a hotel back then. So they're housing 2,800 illegals there. I got 702 police reports in 13 months. They were called 702 times. I got 500 Chicago Fire Department FOIAs at the same time. That's 1,200, right? This picture that you just saw me and Ben on, I could put it out there later to show the video clip. We were at Pilsen. That's where the kid died. One of the kids died there. It was national news, and they had the measles outbreak there. And we were walking back to our cars, and I'm like, Ben, I go, these guys are doing a drug deal. And I stood behind them. It's in the video, and I'm filming, and 4 Venezuelans got out, and they're yelling in Spanish. Came and confronted me, and Ben was there and confronted him, and Ben knows Spanish, right? And then he asked them if they were Venezuelan. They said no, Mexico. Well, we later found out after we were done talking to them from the people that watched could tell the dialect, they were Venezuelans. And then the hat on that one guy that's in the picture was the Chicago Bulls. So you guys, the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, 23 is the Tren de Larga gang colors from Venezuela, 1994. Not because of Chicago, has absolutely nothing to do with Chicago. That's their colors. Then the guy...
Please pardon me. I want to push. I don't normally like to play videos during the interviews. I'll provide links and stuff like that. But I want everybody to get a feel for what Ben Bergquam published. Can I play this video? Do you mind?
Sure. Yeah. Of course. It's better.
I want to play this, you guys. Check this out.
Venezuela? No, en México. En México? Sí. Oh. ¿Tú hablas inglés? No. Okay. So, Terry, you were filming the license plate. What happened?
Yeah, they told me not to film it. You?
No.
Well, no problem. No problem. You? What's wrong? Say what?
Bull's hat. See the Bull's hat?
Yeah.
Soy reportero. It's America. It's America. It's a free country, guys. It's a free country.
Can I tell you something? You know who you were in front of, right?
Who? Oh,
these guys could have shot you up.
Oh, yeah. I was honest to God. It happened so quickly. And then you missed. I turned my hat backwards because he pulled his hat like a gang member. And I missed that. And then Ben's got, I'm like this, like, let's go. I'm like, I wasn't going to turn my back. Ben's a nice guy. I'm like, I'm from the Southwest side.
You guys could have gotten shot up because I'm looking at how they're posturing behind this guy. Yeah.
They had their little man purses, right?
Yeah.
And then, and so there's no license plate on there. See that, Pete? And then right after this,
I'm not worried about the license plate. I'm worried about the guns in their pants.
Yeah. No, but so another car came after this, and I was like the last one to leave. And it's a different video, and the driver's giving me the finger, and then he had no plates on, and the passenger's going like this to me. after everyone left. I was the last car following Ben and the guys out of that location. And they called him because he was on his phone to come. And thank God, we all got out of there at that point in time.
Yeah.
And so, so the other FOIAs I got is child pornography, human sex trafficking.
Let me play the rest of this. Here, hold on a second.
Sure.
We can film in America. So this is interesting. So they don't want you filming their stuff in America. They're here illegally. ¿Habla inglés? No? No? Mexico or Venezuela? Huh? Okay, Venezuela or Mexico? No? Okay. So they're selling drugs out here, doing drugs out here. This is the America. This is the America the Democrats want. There you go. There you go. I told you. Hey, all right. Hey. Say it again. Again.
They're gang
That's what they think of you, America. That's what they think of you. F you. That's what they think of you. No? Come on. Be proud.
There's another drug deal right there.
Oh,
this guy, look at this in the Audi.
You got the buyers and the sellers?
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the America Democrats want. It's all illegal. You got now the drug dealers out here. They don't want to be on camera, of course. They don't want their license plate on camera, of course. They flip us off, of course.
Yeah.
It's that's what you're inviting in. You're inviting in the
And he threw a gang sign at you.
criminal element from third world countries. What do you think is going to happen, guys? It's not going to be good. And they're telling American citizens not to film after they invaded our country and they're selling drugs on the streets of America.
Wow. That's great.
So Pete, Pete, I got other FOIAs. Get this. So I do this show by myself with a buddy, and I have a real job in the daytime.
Right.
And I've got thousands of FOIAs. So after this came out, I got FOIAs of the Venezuelans that were making. So these guys are sophisticated, and like what they're saying, they got counterfeit money, and they're going up to Detroit. And they're buying cars from dealerships, not the big ones, and they're driving back to Chicago. They're kicking doors in with machine guns and mass, robbing their own people like the old gangsters did in the 20s. Yeah. Remember when they first preyed on the, my grandfather's place was burned down by Capone. He wouldn't pay the street tax. That's what they're doing here to the Hispanics.
Right.
And if you fast forward 100 years, back then there was the Italians and the Irish fighting over liquor. It's going to be the Venezuelans and the African Americans fighting over the drug trade in Chicago.
Yeah.
We had a year and a half ago, Thanksgiving, on one night, 8 people were shot, 4 women, 4 men, not far from that center. I immediately said, because my friends are Chicago cops, I said, this has to be Trent Largo, because our gangs here, not that they're nice gangs, they never shoot women. They might have somebody get killed on a stray. I'm like, there's no way they go in and kick in the door and shoot 4 women. That was so I later found out it was Trent Largo, and it was a retaliation for Venezuela. 5 days later in Cicero, ironically, where Al Capone's from, police officer shot in the back. I said again. Then that Sunday, about 2 in the afternoon, 4 people shot, 2 women, 2 men. Trent Largo again. So there's more shootings. Al Capone in St. Valentine's Day Massacre was 7 people. We had 8, a cop, and 4 more in a period of a week.
Wow. Yeah. Now listen, Terry, I don't know. Do you have any military experience or law enforcement?
No, 35 years ago, I got caught up with mob guys and went away for a little bit, but I changed my life.
So you agree with that? You knew what danger you were in with these guys, right?
It's a different story. I honestly, you're talking about I feel like I'm making retribution for what I did back then, and then what I did back then gives me the courage to do what I'm doing now, and I'm making up for it for my children. I'm doing it for something
good for you. Good for you. So overall, the work that you do, the core of your work behind enemy lines and what you cover, you do FOIA requests. Tell us what's your main mission? What is your end game result as to your contribution in fighting in this war against these very, very evildoers?
Yeah, I was on a domestic terrorist watch list for peacefully being at J6 or a vocal school board parent, and Matt Gates got me off the list. FBI showed up my front door. I got it on the Ring camera. After they left, my wife was crying like a baby. And at first she was screaming at me. Then she started crying. I don't know what to do. What happens? Something happens to you. You got to quit this. And I said, I hugged her. I said, listen, Kara, I go, we're in this situation because people wanted other people to do this. I go, I'm not going to die without trying to make a difference for our kids. We're in a war, and people don't even realize we're in a war, and we're losing. Everybody has to, you don't have to go out and do this crazy stuff, right? Be in a school, but do something, right? I'm trying to expose it because we're in the communist state of Illinois behind enemy lines. That's Abe Lincoln dressed up in fatigues. And like when I hosted the New York Post here to do the Trendelargua thing, and they're like, why aren't they all this stuff I got, Pete, right? Like, why aren't the big outlets covering this stuff? They don't want to. Going to the ice centers, all this stuff. I got my paperwork in to do ride-alongs. I'm waiting to, get that approved. It's not being shown in Chicago, right? I mean, so I'm trying to do whatever I can to expose all this craziness. The Republican party is like Democrats here, and I'm trying to fill a void that we have in the whole state of Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois. What's worse, Pennsylvania or Illinois right now? Philadelphia. Philadelphia's got some long-term corruption. I know Illinois does in Chicago, but what?
Illinois is the heart. Come on, we had Saul Alinsky. We had they invented cheating. My dad worked for the city of Chicago. My uncle was the president of the People's Gas. Like the union guys would go out there. They're foot soldiers, right? Yeah. They're grassroots, plus plus the money, plus the corruption.
Yeah.
They used to be let out and go work. My dad, go work for the politicians, right? I mean, it's the heart of corruption. It's the heart, the Venezuelan, those Smartmatic machines. Guess where their first beta site was? Chicago. Right? Where all the Venezuelans come. Chicago. Yeah. They're in New York and they're in Colorado. But we are the epicenter of corruption here, right? I mean, it's, and I'm trying to expose it in any way. Me and Ben confronted J.B. Pritzker, Brandon Johnson in front of a press conference. I thought the state police were going to shoot me. That's so funny. We got that video too. We yelled at him during the press conference.
Is it in that article?
No, there's like 20 articles from people.
Oh man! All right,
I'll come back some other time. I'd love to show you that stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to come back. Yeah.
I was filming Ben. Ben was filming me, and then I see him behind him, like the state cop, like this, and he's got his hand by his gun behind me. After we looked and edited everything later.
Hey, Deb, hold on one second. I got to tell Deb, we got to get this guy on a regular basis. You need to change your name to Vinny Boom Bots too.
Boom Bots. Oh, yeah.
You got a lot to offer. We got to get him back on. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Right now, where can we find your stuff? I want to go binge watch your stuff now.
You could at Terry Newsom 357s on X.
Okay.
The 357 happens to do with the 1980s, what I used to carry. And then I'm on Rumble, Behind Enemy Lines, Getter, Terry Newsom, and YouTube, Behind Enemy Lines. A lot of the stuff. I would go to homeless shelters. I would talk to the homeless people that were freezing a block and a half away from the Venezuelan warming buses. I mean, all this crazy stuff that's going on in Chicago, all over the country, but I'm doing it here in Chicago.
What do you think is going to happen between President Trump, this battle between President Trump and Pritzker?
I hope they put him in jail. So I got, there's 4 people running for governor here. I don't know. The guy's got so much money. They're bragging about one of our guys that has 1.5 million. That's like butt wipe money for Pritzker. But
this battle that Pritzker has been successful in holding off President Trump with National Guard troops. But President Trump had sent Marines in there. Did you know that?
Yeah. So they had, I know they had the National Guard from Texas over just southwest of me here.
Right.
And think about this. I want the people to think about this, right? We had all this cost of us with these illegal criminal Venezuelans, right? To bring them here, transport them, house them, feed them, all the ambulance, everything, right? That costs a fortune because of the Democrats. So now we have to go back and remove these people. That's costing way more money to do that. Now we have to double the manpower, the labor rate, because now when you send the team, when Holman sends his guys out there, right, to pick up these criminals, he's got to double or triple the team to protect the guys that are going to get the bad guy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that's, you know what I mean? So they're double or tripling the amount we have to pay to get rid of their mess in the first place.
Crazy. President Trump is not backing down, though, is he? If crime continues as it is, right? He's going to have to bring the heavy hand down on Chicago and any other city that's operating, like Minnesota. Minnesota. Yes. We got now Chicago, Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a disaster, but these battles in the court system, they're using lawfare to delay what is gonna
Yes.
it's gonna come. You can't stop President Trump from exercising his constitutional authority, I believe.
Yeah, last night I was in Naperville. You know, they have these no kings, and they're all funded the same signs. So last night I was in Naperville confronting. Guy says I'm Antifa, you know, F ICE and stuff. All these leftist scumbags, and they talk about the woman that got shot. Right? I said, well, I go, do you think she doesn't deserve? I try to start and have a conversation with him, but always go sideways, and then we get. And then, I kind of have fun at the part when it goes sideways. But I say, well, you know, she shouldn't have been shot. And, you know, it's not right. It does, you know, I go, well, what do you think about trespassing? Should somebody be shot? I'm sorry, what do you think about trespassing? Should they get in trouble for that? Should they be shot? Well, no. I go, Ashley Babbitt was murdered. She was shot in the face. Oh, that's different. That was insurrection. They wanted to kill Mike Pence. I go, I was there. Yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah,
it's not.
How do you have a discussion with those whack jobs?
Very carefully these days, because it's getting really dangerous. Now, of course, I've done, you know, field reporting. I've had guns pointed at me, all that. Shoot, I went to North Carolina. Remember when the North Carolina hurricane went through? I actually went out there. I stood in a line, and there was a pizza joint. They were giving out free pizza, and right in the heart of one of the cities there that wasn't impacted. But you know how the leftists are. Oh, we got to feed the homeless. So I said, what are you guys standing in line for? They said, oh, free pizza. For what? I mean, this area hasn't been impacted. They said, these are locals. And I stood there in line, and I said, let me ask you something. How many of you are, and this is before the election, how many of you are going to vote for President Trump? And I thought a riot was going to break out. 5 guys come running out. One guy with a gun.
Yeah.
Because I asked them if they were going to vote for Trump.
Yeah, they're not. They're supposed to be the inclusive,
crazy
caring,
now.
loving.
I'm like,
they are. They're crazy.
I didn't even antagonize. I just said, how many of you folks? Here's like 200 people in line. How many of you are going to vote for President Trump? And like a bunch of people raised their hands. 5 guys come out, one with a gun. I'm like, well, that was stupid.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
so be safe.
I got another one. Christy Noem was over here. I was on the way to my job. And, you know, my friends tell me, you know, because in the Chicagoland area, you know, there's a Christy Noem, all protesters, Antifa people there. I go there. I'm not there for 5 seconds. And I didn't get in her face. I just said to one of the organizers, oh, black chick, big, fat, bigger than me. And they're standing up for the immigrants. I said, do you support Trendelargua too? Oh, my God, she smacked me twice. She did? She assaulted me. Oh, yeah. I thought she was going to spit on me. And, of course, the Democratic cops don't do anything. Because I asked her, I swear to God, I wasn't in her face. I try to start out nice, you know, and I mean, I got it all on camera. I got a bunch of them. I mean, it's like, fun. They're nuts.
How much field work do you do?
How much field work?
Yeah.
So
how often do you get out in the field in Chicago?
A lot. I went last night. People will call me, and
once a week.
What's his name? Harold? Is Harold your guy that owns LFA?
Jeremy Harold.
Harold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I filmed the Ice Center for him. I got introduced to him from Ben. So he had me go down there I was going anyway.
Outstanding.
Like, hey, first time I made money in 2 years. I lost my job after 23 years in February because of an investigation again, because of there's a story with me, Tom Homan, and General Flynn in Southern Poverty Law Center. They wrote 2 nasty stories on me. First about the porn. You know, said I was racist. I hate gay people. Then it was about, after Gateway Pundit wrote about that story with Tom Homan, we had private meetings at his hotel. And then all of a sudden they wrote another hit piece that I hate the poor immigrants. And then 2 weeks later, I get a call from HR. I got laid off after. I worked for a big international French company out of Paris. DEI, unbelievable. And I'm in sales. I won the award more than anybody in this 400,000 employees 7 times. I was laid off because they didn't tell me, but it wasn't because of performance.
No.
I said, it's because of my politics. Yes. HR goes, Terry, we love your politics. You defend the children. I wanted to say, you know, I was very respectful, you know, it was, you know, because I had to get severance and stuff.
How many years were you with them?
23 years.
Unbelievable. 23 years. They saw you out the door because of political pressure from above.
Yeah, now like my background, I'm coming out about it, and I call it coming out of the concrete closet, because now I don't work for a big, you know, I've been working for big companies for like 28 years, And I'm talking about my past and how I speak to people and try to give them hope. I never told anybody about it. I would do it on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the Southwest side. You know, I live next to a heart surgeon, an international businessman. If you know where I grew up and what I've been through, it's a miracle. I feel like, I'm lucky I'm alive. I'm lucky I live here. I'm lucky I had this job, and I'm lucky I'm able to do something that I think I'm redeeming for the things I've done.
Terry, I'm not just saying this. I don't. I've done thousands of interviews. I started in 2011. All right, I don't say this to every guest, but I'm so glad and feel so blessed that we connected with you. Seriously.
Well, thank you.
Really,
Pete.
really.
I appreciate it. It means
so
a lot.
some of our most important work is yet to come, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. It is.
I believe so.
This is a Band-Aid. If you have, if anybody, but if you have children or grandchildren, you got to do something because this is a Band-Aid. Trump is a Band-Aid. Yeah. And the deep, I was like, I never I thought there was a little bit of a deep state. I thought preppers were whack jobs. I did a 180. Oh my God. It's like, and you know what, think about what happened. And my mother, when Trump lost, I was like, oh, and she's like a MAGA grandma. And I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, everything happens for a reason, and she was right. Yeah. Think about it. If Trump would have won back to back, we wouldn't have been making these strides we are.
No.
Think about it. No. The Republicans are weasels.
No, you know what? Can I use an example? You'll appreciate this. You'll understand it. Come from Chicago. Giuliani, when he took down the mob, all right, before that, you would arrest, a foot soldier, a capo, or even an upper echelon, and you get the guys off the street, and then they just backfill him with another guy, and the organization continues to operate. Same thing would have happened if President Trump arrested a bunch of foot soldiers. We didn't know about this huge thing of NGOs and human traffic. They have a network. We have to arrest the foot soldiers and make sure the organization's brought down. And we're now better prepared to do that. Don't you agree?
Oh my God, all this crazy stuff that happened. Thank God. Yeah. Thank God it happened the way it happened.
Thank God.
Because,
absolutely.
Our country would have been done probably by now. But, people have woke up so many people to come to his side, to our side, to the voice of reason, to see how corrupt and bad it is. And it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary to see how bad it is. It's like,
and look at how strong he came in the 47th administration, taking out USAID. We got to get Elon Musk back in there.
I heard they're baking up. They are.
It's true. Look at what he did for Iran. Immediately lit up all Skylink. Skylink and Starlink. That's right.
Starlink.
Starlink. Yeah. He lit that up immediately and Trump, needs that to allow the Iranian people to get out. But listen, Terry Boombots Newsom. That's my my little quotation.
By the way, I named my son instead of it was named after my dad, which I would go out with Gino, Vinny, Joey, Sammy, Terry. My son's name is Anthony. So I fixed it. He's just got my last name, unfortunately.
Anthony. That's great. Yeah. Great to connect with you. We'll be in touch, okay? And once again, before you leave, give your Twitter handle out. Do that.
Yeah, at Terry Newsom 357. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, share this far and wide. I'm going to produce a little, because this one story with Ben Bergquam in that video. Thank you. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll wrap us up. I'm going to produce a little segment here and attach his links, and I want you guys to see his work, see this article, see Ben Bergquam's videos, and of course, subscribe to his channels. He's a good guy. And it sounds like Jeremy Harrell's already latched onto him at LFA TV. All right, folks, guess what? Because we had a little special event take place, if you're tuned into our streams right now, we're going to hear just about 25 minutes early. Actually, I didn't want to cut off because we had our guests coming in. But on Mondays at 7 o'clock, I'm going to be off, and then I got to do some in-studio work. So that's going to conclude this broadcast right now. What I want you to do, make absolutely certain that you subscribe, because I've got a big announcement here coming and I'm going to send out a text alert as soon as it hits, and I'm going to need your help in getting the word out. So I need you to text LFA to 833-893-3669. Get on our text alert system, and don't not do it, because there were people in our chat room tonight that said, "Oh, I didn't know," or "I didn't," because they're not on our text alerts. You didn't get notified, and it was the most important 2 hours I've ever done since I've been doing this since 2011. So go to the Pete Santilli Show Rumble channel. Check out that breaking news report on Iran. Get onto our text alert system. And that's it. We're going to conclude this broadcast and see you first thing in the morning. Tune into our 24/7 stream, because immediately following, when I switch our servers over, you're going to get a chance on our 24/7 stream to see the broadcast that I did right here on the stream. So I'm going to rebroadcast the entire 2-hour presentation so you can go back through it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a spectacular evening, and we shall see you tomorrow morning.